Hey guys, I've been exposed. You guys, I've been exposed. Everyone go subscribe to this Muslim guy who's been exposing me. Then pay me some money so I can buy shirt. And let's see what he has to say.
It has never been like that in the West. Break taboo? What do you mean break taboos? There is no taboo in desecrating the Quran. I mean, seriously. People have been desecrating the Quran in the West since 2005 or even earlier than that.
Oh my god, this guy thinks desecrating the Quran is not taboo in the West? Of course it's taboo. I mean, since I ate the Quran, I now have to spend 5 hours a day sitting in the toilet. Even now, I'm doing this live stream on the toilet even though you can't see underneath. Anyway, if it wasn't taboo, everyone would be eating the Quran. And everyone would be in the toilet. Since that's not the case, it shows that eating the Quran is taboo.
Well, Armin, I don't know about that. Both me and my channel has been in the toilet for the last 24 hours, so... Yeah, same here. I think I'm gonna have an anxiety attack. Let's make another nonsense video about the 10 Commandments and the Quran, even though the Bible is not even real. Yeah, at least I don't believe it is. Anyway.
Come on guys, let's not share everything with our audience. Let's see what else he has to say.
Now, there's absolutely nothing in atheism or secular humanism that says that you cannot insult someone's wife.
Oh my god, these people have no idea about free speech and how amazing it is. Look at how amazing free speech is. On Twitter, it is allowing people to insult my mother. And I didn't even report them to Twitter. I also didn't call the cops. Isn't free speech amazing?
Oh my god, Armin, are you crying?
No, I'm fine. Everything is fine. This is just from the joy of free speech. Free speech is allowing everyone to mock my dead mother. It's amazing. I'm not sad at all. Free speech is amazing. Free speech is amazing. Free speech is amazing.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Islamic podcast. I saw Armin Navabi made a response to my videos. So I thought, you know what, let's take a look. I have to say that I don't usually do this. I've never received an actual response to the people that I usually make videos about. So I'm glad that he's at least open-minded. So yeah, I have to say that after watching his responses, it was one of the worst response to any apologetic argument I have ever heard. And this is me saying this sincerely. It was so bad that I immediately wanted to make a response. However, I figured, you know what, let's wait for a bit and finish my videos. So I thought that, you know what, let's just respond to his response. And you'll see just how bad his response was. So, by the way, Armin, if you're watching, please, for the love of God, listen to my whole argument without pausing the video every 5 seconds. Okay, let me talk. Okay, and present the whole argument. When you reacted to my video, you paused like every 5 seconds without even listening to me, and then went on a completely absurd emotional rant that had nothing to do with my arguments for like 10 minutes or 20 minutes, which is absurd. So here's my advice. Calm down, I know you're very excited. Take a chill pill, calm down, take a deep breath, watch some Sadhguru if you have to, to calm down, or whatever the hell you atheists do. I don't know. But whatever you need to do it, calm down, then listen to my whole argument and then respond. Okay? So yeah, let's take a look at what he said.
I don't know if this guy is a Christian, but okay, we'll accept this as a Christian. His body language illustrates he's affected with lunacy. Is this guy a Christian? How do we know? That first one was a fair point, but I don't know, how do we know these are Christians? And because they flipped out because of the Bible? Oh, is this under... This is under my video. How do you know these are Christians? Oh, 1987. I know you. Are you here in the live chat? I have watched this clip. I saw you addressing the issue of attacking the wife, but you did not rip only the Quran as solidarity with David. You tore up also the Bible, which is David's holy book. So it is not solidarity with David. It is you taking Harris' challenge plus trying to make a point as an atheist. Okay, fair enough. But 1987 is not a Christian that flipped out. He was just saying that my title was not accurate. So I think, let me see, the first one. So he basically, this Muslim is trying to show that I was wrong. I said when I desecrated the Quran, many Muslims flipped out. But when I desecrated the Bible, I said 0 Christians flipped out. And I think I said that I know of, right? Maybe I didn't. Maybe I think I remember saying it. I didn't know. But then he showed the first example was you doing it. Okay, so this is a legitimate butthurt Christian. Okay, that's fair enough. This, oh, okay, this is not, this is an atheist. This is a member here. 1987 here. Look, 1987 is right here. I am not a Christian. There you go. So that's we're getting live confirmation right here that this is wrong.
Okay, so I admit that I made a mistake in my intro. So I accidentally added the comment of an atheist. However, the way I picked the comment was that people who were basically butthurt and had a Christian name. Because the thing is that I literally have nowhere, had nothing else to go by. So I picked this way because this is the only way I can figure out who might be a Christian. However, I was incorrect. I was incorrect in some places and I was correct in some places. And this was meant as a satire, as a comedy. So it's not really, I don't know why he thinks this is something serious. But anyway, so yeah, I was correct in some and I was wrong in others. So either way, the point was that that he said that zero Christians, as he says, 0 Christians were upset. That was not true. There were Christians who were upset. That was my point, and I think he gets my point. Regardless, let's continue to his argument.
Exactly why we do it, because you guys say, because even ex-Muslims think that there's something special about these words, that they shouldn't be like, oh, see, nothing happens. Look, oh, this is, I mean, this is, I like this one, but again, nothing happens, guys. This is like, you see, nothing happens. Okay, this is just paper. Okay, it's nothing. Okay, nothing happens. We have to break taboos like this.
Okay, so this idiot actually thinks that burning the Quran or desecrating the Quran is somehow a taboo.
Is it not? Is it not?
It has never been like that in the West.
What?
Break taboo? What do you mean break taboos? There's no taboo.
It's not like that in the West. Like, they burn people. There's riots in Sweden because somebody burned the Quran. What are you talking about? It's never been like that in the West.
Okay, so his argument is that if there are riots about something, that means it's taboo. Which is ridiculous, because that's like saying, since there was the civil rights movement in America, that shows that racism was taboo in America. Which is ridiculous, because the whole reason the civil rights movement happened was because racism was not taboo in America. The whole point of the movement was to show that racism should be taboo in America. So just because there are riots does not mean the thing that the people are rioting about is taboo. So it's completely fallacious and absurd logic. Same way, the whole reason the Muslims are rioting in the West is because burning the Quran is not taboo when it should be. Because as I showed previously, doing things like burning the Quran can be harmful for Muslims. So no, Armin, the fact that Muslims are rioting does not show that burning the Quran is taboo. It shows that the exact opposite. Also here he's affirming the consequent fallacy. So basically this is a fallacy in formal logic. Basically it goes something like this. If P, then Q. Since it's Q, therefore it has to be P. So basically, in a nutshell, what it means is that, in simple terms, is that when your argument when in your argument you have a premise that could possibly lead to something, and it does, and from that you assume that the thing that premise that you had that could possibly lead to it caused it, and you completely ignore any other possibilities. For example, if the air conditioner is on, then the room will be colder. The room is colder, therefore the air conditioner must be on. Now, just because the room is colder doesn't mean the air conditioner is on. It could simply be the case that someone opened the window. Or maybe the temperature dropped because it's raining outside or something like that. So same way, Armin is committing a fallacy here, because he said if burning the Quran is taboo, then the Muslims will riot, or at least I think that's his assumption. Again, correct me if I'm making a mistake. So he's saying that if burning the Quran is taboo, then the Muslims will riot. The Muslims have done a riot, therefore burning the Quran must be taboo. Now, just because the Muslims have done a riot doesn't mean that they have done so because burning the Quran is taboo. For example, in an Al Jazeera article, they mentioned that in this protest, people were throwing anti-Muslim racial slur, people who were burning the Quran. The article says, but his supporters went ahead with the rally, during which 6 people were arrested for inciting racial hatred. Now, this rally where the Quran was burned was arranged or supported by Rasmus Paludan, the same guy I talked about in my previous video, who went around burning the Quran in Sweden. So Paludan later put up a scathing Facebook message where he said that sent back and banned from Sweden for 2 years. However, rapists and murderers are always welcome. He's talking about the Muslims. Now, if this is the case, that Muslims rioted because the Quran was burned, then why didn't they riot when Rasmus Paludan was burning the Quran in 2019? This shows that they didn't just riot because they burned the Quran. They rioted because due to a combination of things, one of them being racist attacks. So burning the Quran was definitely a tipping point. However, it's not the only reason why they did this. Therefore, Armin's argument falls completely flat. Regardless, let's continue.
And this is not about the West. This is about it being a taboo, period. Like, why do you think that we only care about the West?
Here he's committing the shifting the goalpost fallacy. You see, in the video, Armin was saying that even ex-Muslims think this book is special. You know, he said, even the ex-Muslims think that this book is special. You know, it's special, and then he slaps the Quran around.
Exactly why we do it, because you guys say, because even ex-Muslims think that there's something special about these words, that they shouldn't be like, oh, see, nothing happens. I like this one, but again, nothing happens, guys. This is like, you see, nothing happens, okay? This is just paper, okay? It's nothing, okay? Nothing happens. We have to break taboos like this.
And then he says that, which is why we need to break these taboos, as he calls them. When he said that in reference to Abdullah Samir, who is an ex-Muslim who lives in the West. Now, if he was talking about the entire world, then why was he referring to Abdullah Samir? Regardless, it's obvious that he was referring to the West here in the video. Regardless, let's continue.
Not just by Muslims, but by a whole bunch of regressive leftists. So it is a taboo. How is he denying? He's calling me an idiot by denying reality. It is a taboo. What the fuck? What an idiotic take. It is a major taboo. Is he really going to deny that?
People have been desecrating the Quran in the West since 2005 or even earlier than that.
That doesn't mean it's not a taboo. People have done taboo things that still remains a taboo just because somebody has done it. That doesn't make it. Oh my God, these people have such moronic takes right after they call me an idiot. Taboos are usually things that we say that people consider wrong and they shouldn't be wrong.
Okay, so if a lot of people are desecrating the Quran or have desecrated the Quran, then how is it a taboo? Okay, so according to him, taboos are things that people consider to be wrong. However, this is not the case in the West. For example, in 2014, there was an anti-Islam far-right march in Germany. And in this march, nearly 17,000 people joined. They all joined this march because they hate Islam. A lot of these people, if not majority of them, won't have an issue with desecrating the Quran. And it's not even counting all the people that didn't or couldn't join, who also support burning the Quran. Also, the hashtag desecrate the Quran went viral on Twitter. And this hashtag was probably, I think it was started by Armin himself. And many people, especially from Poland, retweeted this. So this shows that a large number of people in the West are fine with desecrating the Quran. Again, let me make an argument. Premise 1. According to Armin, anything that people consider to be wrong are taboo. Premise 2. We see from the right-wing marches in Europe and desecrate the Quran hashtag that a lot of people in the West don't consider desecrating the Quran to be wrong. Conclusion. Therefore, according to Armin's own logic, desecrating the Quran is not taboo in the West. Thanks for the verification, Armin. Regardless, let's continue.
So I think maybe this person doesn't understand the definition of what taboo means. Okay, so based on this definition of this guy, if somebody has done it, it's not taboo anymore. Do we have anything that's a taboo then? Like, oh, it's not a taboo. Look, these people have done it. So I can't think of anything that is a taboo.
This is a straw man. I never said that just because someone has done it, therefore it's not taboo. My argument is taboos are things that are not allowed both morally and legally. The reason I showed so many examples was to highlight this point. I wanted to show that these people have not faced any major moral or legal backlash, except maybe in the case of Terry Jones, but even that's questionable. Also, dude, you're the one who said taboo is anything that people consider to be wrong. I mean, if there are a lot of people who have burned the Quran and did not think that this is something that was wrong, then how is it a taboo? Again, I'm using your definition here. If this was the case that there were not many cases of Quran being burned or desecrated, then maybe you could argue that. However, that's not the case. A large number of people don't think that there is literally anything wrong with desecrating the Quran. Therefore, it cannot be described as taboo. One example of taboo in the West is pedophilia or child abuse. It's not tolerated in the West. Same with Holocaust denial. Denying the Holocaust is even a crime in some Western countries. These are clear examples of taboos in the West. In some countries, in the last 50 years, Holocaust denial hasn't been a thing. So it seems like you're wrong both by my definition and by your own definition. So by the standards of both of these definitions, Holocaust denial, at least in some parts of Europe or Western countries, for at least the last 50 to 100 years has been taboo. So you cannot say that by my definition nothing is taboo. Either way, that was a straw man. Either way, let's continue. It's nothing new.
No, we didn't say it's new. We didn't say it's new. Like, again, this screenshot this and put it right under the definition of a straw man. Just put this guy's face right under the definition.
This is another straw man. I never said Armin said this is new. Where on earth did I say that? This is a clear-cut lie and a straw man. I never said that. Look at what I actually said and how he misrepresented my views. Anyway, the point is, desecrating the Quran is nothing new. Okay, it's not taboo. People have been doing it for years. Okay, it's literally getting boring at this point. Now, does that sound like I'm accusing Armin of saying burning the Quran or desecrating the Quran is new? I'm saying that people have done it in the past without facing any major backlash or either morally or legally, which shows that it is not taboo. I never said that Armin believes that desecrating the Quran is something new. All I'm saying is that it's not taboo. Regardless, let's continue.
Argument that some of these Muslims have, like, oh, the Quran is so dear to us, so if you disrespect the Quran, we're going to make sexual jokes about your wives and stuff like that, right? So these are the idiots that think like pieces of paper is comparable to actual human beings. So
this is a strawman argument. Brother Hijab.
Oh my God, he's he's the one to speak when it comes to strawman arguments. Okay, let's see. Maybe I did. Maybe he just made strawman after strawman, and now he's calling me out for a strawman argument. Let's see if I made a strawman. Maybe I did. Maybe I did. Let's see how.
Never said desecrating the Quran is the same as insulting someone's wife.
Dude, they literally just said that it's fair for us to go after your wives because you do this to our beloved, like, Quran or Muhammad or stuff like that. Oh, maybe that's what he means. Maybe because they're comparing it to Muhammad. Is that what they're about saying?
The argument is, if you have no problem with desecrating the Quran and hurting other people's feelings, then you should also have no problem if those same people start insulting your wives or your family members to hurt your feelings.
So it's not a straw man. That's literally what we said. Wait, what the fuck? No, we saying that hurt feeling. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what we said. So you just made our point. How is this straw man, guys? Somebody help me out. Where the fuck is the straw man? So the point is that these morons think that hurt feelings for pieces of paper being desecrated, it should be the same value given to it from people saying like, hey, this is my wife, don't speak like that about my wife, please. So the fact that you guys see getting hurt from desecrating pieces of paper the same as hurt feelings from somebody going after your family, we're saying that is proof for us that you guys need to be desensitized because you value paper the same as you value actual human, the same way we value actual human beings.
Okay, so Armin was responding to Brother Muhammad Hijab's tweet, which said, when these anti-Muslim attention whore Islamophobes need to get on their knees in intellectual submission before they are whipped by freedom of speech by the Twitter Muslim, they are reluctantly open their mouth in protestation to find they have been defiled by the truth. That was a terrible Muhammad Hijab expression, but anyway, so this is what he said. And by the way, do you see anywhere Brother Hijab saying that that piece of paper are comparable to actual human beings? No, no one said that. Did I say that? No. What did I say? Again, listen very carefully. This is a strawman argument. Brother Hijab never said desecrating the Quran is the same as insulting someone's wife. The argument is, if you have no problem with desecrating the Quran and hurting other people's feelings, then you should also have no problem if those same people start insulting your wives or your family members to hurt your feelings, right? The argument is about being consistent. It's not about them being the same thing. Again, why did I say that pieces of paper are comparable to actual human beings? Nowhere. I never said that. I said if you're okay with hurting our feelings by either insulting our prophet or desecrating our holy books, then why are you not okay when we also hurt your feeling or insult someone dear to you? This does not mean that I think that pieces of paper and human beings are the same. Of course, if someone insults your mother, Armin, you will be way more upset than if someone desecrates your holy book. I'm not denying that. However, that does not mean that desecrating someone's holy book is okay, because that is still morally inconsistent. Here you're committing the false equivalence fallacy. Basically, you're trying to compare two different arguments that has nothing to do with each other. You're trying to say my argument for moral consistency is the same as an argument for moral equivalency. However, they're not the same thing. For example, let's say that there is a school, right? And in that school, my son is a student. I don't have a son. I'm not married, don't worry, but I'm just saying. Now, I believe that in that school, every student should be treated the same from a moral standpoint, including my son. Does that now mean that all the students have the same moral value as my son to me? No, obviously not. My son will always be more morally valuable to me than any of the other students. Same way, I'm saying that desecrating someone's holy book is not the same as insulting someone's wife. However, they are both wrong. I'm simply arguing that if it's morally okay to insult someone's religion and hurt their feelings, then it should also be morally okay for that person to insult my wife and hurt my feelings. That does not mean that I think that hurting someone's feeling by insulting their wife is the same as hurting someone's feeling by insulting their religion. They are not the same. I never said that. Brother Hijab never said that. He even said that desecrating the Quran doesn't hurt him, that he himself can do that.
Worse.
That doesn't hurt us, man.
See,
That
you just
isn't
mean
worse.
disrespectful.
Doesn't
What
hurt
about
us.
what
Doesn't
about the
hurt
moral
us.
right and people wrong? that they should What be about
It
right and
doesn't
wrong?
affect us. When
You
you
believe in right and wrong?
sometimes
You're just trying to-
I put the Quran in. I can
Hey,
burn the Quran. I can put it in water.
It's great that it doesn't affect you. It's great. It's fantastic that it doesn't affect you.
What's your point by doing that?
See, no one ever said that burning or desecrating the Quran is the same as insulting someone's wife. Then why did you claim that we believe that? This is nothing but a massive straw man. So no, Armin, I was correct. This is a straw man. Burning the Quran and insulting someone's wife is not the same. And I never said that and neither did Brother Hijab, as far as I can remember. So instead of arguing something I never said or we never said, why don't you address the actual argument? Why is it morally okay for you to hurt our feelings, but it's not morally okay for us to hurt your feelings? This has nothing to do with free speech. It's an argument about morality. Address the actual argument, please. How can anyone not understand such a simple argument? I mean, even a child can understand this. By the way, this is not even the worst part. Either way, let's continue. Nothing in atheism or secular humanism that says that you can't insult someone's wife.
Yeah, there's nothing. These fucking idiots don't understand the difference between freedom of expression and moral arguments. They don't understand the limitations. When we argue when it comes to the limitations of law, it's different than when we have arguments when it comes to the limitations of what we consider ethical and not ethical, right? So like, there's nothing that tells you that you can't do it. Yeah, you can do it. You are allowed. I would not ever argue for any laws against you to go insult my family. I would never. In fact, if somebody comes up with a law and says that this guy, whoever this is, ever wants to insult my family, they should be legally penalized because of it, I would actually go and defend this guy and be like, nope. This guy is a fucking garbage of a human being for doing that, but I will defend his right for doing that. Okay, so because these people think that when I go out and say you're a garbage human being for doing that, they're like, well, I'm allowed to do it. Yeah, you're allowed to do it. You will still, I will defend your right to do it. But when I tell you that you're a garbage human being for doing it, that is me not denying your right to do it. So we're like, why are these guys opposing you? Based on their standards, I should be able to do it. Yeah, guy, you fucking moron. You don't understand that that's not a contradiction.
Say my religion.
Yes.
I also have a right to insult you.
Yes,
right?
you do.
Or your family members.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. But you're a fucking garbage human beings if you do so. But here's the thing. Show me where I said, like, what the fuck are you responding to? Show me one time telling you, any of these fucking morons, that they don't have the right to insult my family. Show me once that I have said that. They think just because we respond to them and tell them that they're fucking like garbage human beings for doing so, they think that our response to them is us saying that they don't have a right to do it.
Under the category of free speech.
See, they don't understand free speech. You think your free speech has been violated if I respond to you? You think if you say something and I say like fuck you, like you're fucking garbage human being and you're an immoral person for saying something like that, you think me responding to you like that means that I deny your free speech to say it? Again, these people do not understand basic free speech. They do not understand any of these things, and they come up here pretend to be like, oh my god, exposing Armin Navabi. Guys, freedom of speech means that there shouldn't be any legal consequences to any of these speech that is protected under free speech laws. It doesn't mean that there's zero consequences. It just means there should be zero legal consequences or any consequences from the government, including consequences like even if that's too much detail. But let me know if you want me to explain more.
Here, Armin is committing the fallacy of inconsistency.
Nope, it's just you don't understand free speech. It's not inconsistent.
He's being inconsistent with his application of free speech.
Dude, this is not a free speech issue. I have the right to blaspheme against your fucking moronic religion. You have the right to insult my family. That's both protected under free speech. There's no inconsistency here. I'm not saying I'm free to blaspheme against your religion and you're not free to insult my family. I'm not saying that. I've never said that. You have the absolute freedom to do that. But you go and show other people in the world that how garbage of a human being I am for blaspheming against your religion, and let's see who agrees with that. And I'll go show the world what a garbage human being you are for insulting my family and going after my family even though they had no skin in this game. And I'll show the world how a garbage human being you are, and let's see who agrees with me and who agrees with you. Never said that you do not have the right to insult my family. Not even fucking once.
The same people insult their wives and hurt their feelings. So why is it okay for him to hurt our feelings, but it's not okay for us to hurt his feelings?
Again, you're using it's okay with having the right to interchangeably, which means that you have no fucking idea what you're talking about.
Oh my god, this has to be by far the worst part in his response. It was so bad. Like he didn't even listen to anything I have to say. He paused my video every 5 seconds, then went on a rant about something that I never said. So in this segment, Armin thinks that I'm saying that it's legally allowed for me to insult his family members, therefore he cannot be angry. Since he is angry, that means this is a contradiction. Based on this, he thinks that I don't understand free speech or the difference between moral and legal arguments, right? Muslim destroyed, right? Except I never said that. I never made a legal argument in my whole video. Throughout the whole video, I made a moral argument. When I say that application of free speech, I'm talking about from a moral standpoint, not from a legal standpoint. Why on earth would I make a legal argument anyway? That makes no sense. I mean, I live in Bangladesh and he lives in Canada. Our legal systems are completely different. They are attacking Islam using moral argument. So I'm refuting it. I'm refuting their moral argument by showing that it's inconsistent. Why on earth would I make a legal argument? That makes no sense. Listen to what I actually said without pausing, and it becomes crystal clear that I was talking about moral consistency. The argument is, if you have no problem with desecrating the Quran and hurting other people's feelings, then you should also have no problem if those same people start insulting your wives or your family members to hurt your feelings. Okay, so did you notice that I constantly talked about feelings and consistency? If I was making a legal argument, why would I say that? I'm going to make a very simple version of the argument so people like him can understand. Premise 1. Hurting other people's feelings without justification is wrong. Again, Armin already agrees with me on this point since he agreed with me when I said people's feelings matter. People's feelings matter, which is why
Yeah, that does.
Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala brings us this ruling. Armin thinks insulting someone's family member is wrong since you are hurting their feelings without justification. Again, Armin should have no problem with this premise since he himself have said that I'm a garbage human being if I insult his family members. Premise 3. However, Armin also thinks that it's okay to insult a religion and hurt the feelings of the followers of that religion without any justification. Now, to be fair, he does try to justify his action. However, none of those justifies what he did. Premise 4. This is a contradiction. Since either hurting someone's feeling without justification is either okay or not, it cannot be both. Conclusion. Therefore, Armin is being morally inconsistent in regards to free speech from a moral point of view. Again, not from a legal point of view, since we all know he is okay with it legally. This is my argument. If you want to attack something, attack this. Armin, don't attack a straw man. And don't tell us that we don't understand free speech. If you're gonna strawman me, at least try to make a strawman that makes sense. Your strawman doesn't even make any sense. Like, he's accusing me of making a legal argument. Like, why would I make a legal argument and then talk about feelings? That makes no sense. Anyway, so we understand free speech very well. And I never talked about free speech from a legal point of view. So please stop strawmanning me. Either way, let's continue.
Islamic countries, can you go and say anything about, like, well, some of them you can't, to be fair, but in many Islamic countries, can you go and insult religious sentiments? You can't. But can they come and say insulting things about atheists? Yes, they can. So he wants to pretend that it's unfair against them, and we don't want to even go as far as, you know, their standards, where we don't get to say things and they do. We want it to be equal. In the real world, in Islamic countries, it is us who don't get to say what we want to say, and they have the freedom to say whatever they want to say under the law, way beyond the standards of what is okay for us and what we're fine with. Under the law.
Okay, so here he claims that Muslims can apparently say whatever we want. However, this is a lie. There's a hadith which says Abu Hurairah reported that a man reviled Abu Bakr while the Prophet, peace be upon him, was sitting down. That made the Prophet impressed by Abu Bakr, and he smiled. Then Abu Bakr reviled the man and the same words as him, and then he insulted him the same way. And the Prophet became angry and he stood and left. Abu Bakr went to the Prophet and he said, "O Messenger of Allah, the man reviled me and you were sitting, but when I responded, you became angry and stood up." The Prophet said, "Verily, there was an angel with you responding on your behalf, but Satan appeared when you responded the same words back to him, and I will not sit in the presence of Satan." You can read about this in Musnad Ahmed 9411. This hadith has graded as Zaid, which means very good, according to Sheikh Albani. So, no, Armin, even when it comes to atheists like you or anyone who mocks us, we're not allowed to mock them. So, no, Armin, even in Islamic countries, we're not allowed to say whatever we want. We have to behave in the best manner, unlike murtads like you. The right thing to say is that neither should be allowed, which is what Islam promotes.
Neither should be allowed? Your entire book is a manifesto of hate speech against us. Your entire scripture is that. I mean, come on, man, do not put that standard out there, because I'm not in favor of banning Islam, but it seems like you are in favor of banning Islam.
Yes, Islam is telling us both in the Quran and the Hadith that we cannot insult or mock other people. What a hateful manifesto, isn't it? I mean, it's teaching us to behave properly. What a hateful book, or what a hateful religion. In the Quran, Allah says, "You have faith. To let not people ridicule another people. Perhaps they are better than them. Neither let women ridicule other women. Perhaps they are better than them. Do not insult each other, nor mock each other with nicknames. Wretched is the accusation, wickedness after faith, and whoever does not repent has done wrong."
So this is a Mecca verse, by the way, from when Muhammad. This is like when Muhammad. I think it's from, actually, I'm not sure. Is this like 49? Yeah, I think this is from the time when Muhammad was still in Mecca. But even I mean, this is a religion where, so they are upset with us desecrating the Quran, even though I saw how mentions we desecrate our own Quran, and yet they are endorsing a religion. They're like, oh, in Quran, in Islam, this is not allowed. But they themselves will admit to you that Muhammad, when he conquered Mecca, he went and desecrated other people's idols. He went and broke their religious idols, right? The religious figures, the statues. He destroyed all of them except Mother Mary's statue, because he was simply for Mary. And when he did that, and he also had forced Mecca to submit to him, or they had to accept Islam or die. So, and they say, well, there was no blood. First of all, there was blood. So a couple of people had to die. But the reason why there was no blood is because everybody bent the knee, right? But even forgetting that part, like, he went and specifically took the pagans' idols they were meant there for worshiping, and he basically shattered every single one of them, except again the statue of Mother Mary. So you know what the difference between what Muhammad did and what we did was? You guys know?
It wasn't his idols. He forced them on the people of Mecca. He forced them on this with his army and his force and the threat of violence. And he destroyed the property and the idols of other people. And they say like, oh, this is not allowed in Islam. Motherfucker, this is sunnah. This is sunnah, motherfucker. Actually, it's not sunnah because we do not do these to other people's property. We will never, I mean, I will at least not. I don't know about you guys in live chat, but I think you guys will also never take anyone else's Quran and destroy it. That is a crime. That is a crime. I desecrate my own Quran, my property. I would never go as low as your Prophet Muhammad. I would never go as low as your Prophet Muhammad and destroy other people's property. I would only do this to things that I own, that I have the right to.
Here he's committing the faulty comparison fallacy. There is a difference between the Prophet destroying something in war and you destroying something for no good reason. The Prophet never destroyed any idol when he was in Mecca. Only after the people of Mecca helped one of the tribes to kill an ally of the Muslims, did war break out. Then the Prophet decided to conquer Mecca. According to one report, which was written in Ibn Qayyim's book Zat al-Ma'ad, the pagan Quraysh helped Banu Bakr slaughter an ally of the Muslims, Banu Kuja. The report said, the Quraysh helped Abu Bakr with weapons while their chiefs, taking advantage of the night, fought Kuza along with Banu Bakr. Their combined charge drove Kuza into a sacred territory, meaning basically a religious holy site, where some Orientalists, where some Quraysh said to one another, we are now in the sacred area, mind your gods, mind your gods. But others replied impatiently, we have no God today. Take your revenge, O son of Bakr, for you may not get another chance. You can read about this report in Zat al-Ma'ad, volume 1, page 419, and Ibn Hisham, volume 2, page 319. You can also read about this in Fiqh as-Sirah by Sheikh Muhammad al-Ghazali, page number 406. You know what's interesting is that they said that we have no God today when they were killing the allies of the Muslims, the Banu Kuza tribe, and they basically slaughtered them. That sounds a lot like you, mother efforts, doesn't it? I mean, either way, these scumbags decided to break the treaty with the Muslims by slaughtering an innocent tribe for no reason. I think they wanted to provoke the Muslims to fight. Well, they got it. Since as a result of this, the conquest of Mecca happened. Now, again, if you notice, these people did not care about religion at all. If anything, they were atheists. Because they said, we have no gods today. They kill people in their own holy places. Now, my thing is that if they themselves, the Quraysh themselves, didn't care about their own religion, who desecrated their own holy places and their own idols, then why should the Prophet not do the same thing? I mean, if they themselves don't care about their own religion, their holy places and their idols, then why should the Prophet? I mean, now here's the thing. There's two things that you need to understand, Armin. Number one, all the idols and houses in Mecca belong to the Prophet, since he rightfully defeated them in battle, and by the right of conquest, these idols were his. Therefore, he can do with them as he likes, since Armin himself have said that he has no problem with destroying his own property.
Actually, it's not sunnah because we do not do these to other people's property. I desecrate my own Quran, my property.
The Prophet also destroyed his own property, so you really shouldn't have any issue with that. Number two, the Meccans and Banu Bakr didn't care about their own religion or their gods or their holy sites. They slaughtered the people in their own sacred holy place. If they don't care about their own idols, their own gods, and their own holy sites, then why should the Prophet? However, this is not the same as what you did, Armin. Muslims take the Quran very seriously. And you're not fighting in war with the Muslims physically. So don't compare your situation with the Prophet. That's kind of moronic, as you like to say, you constantly like to tell me. Regardless, let's continue.
Do not insult them. I mean, the Quran is full of insults to Christians. The Quran and the Hadith is full of insults to Christians, Muslims, comparing them to animals, to apes, to pigs, to rats, and it's full. And the people like us condemns us to eternal hellfire, deserving of being tortured for eternity and punished by death in this world, just because we changed our opinions. But yeah, this religion doesn't promote insulting them because of their opinions. Sure, buddy.
By the way, did you notice that he didn't bring any reference because he knows that I would destroy him if he did so? Either way, there is nothing in the Quran that can be qualified or as unjustified hate speech, unlike what Armin did. If you think otherwise, Armin, then bring me evidence or reference and trust me. I would love to destroy and humiliate you on this point. Regardless, let's continue.
Sahito.
Scholar Zakaria al-Ansari, backbiting about a kafir is haram. It is dhimmi, a non-Muslim living under Islamic rule, because that puts him off from accepting the jizya, which is a type of tax.
Which is a tax that they're forced to pay extra because they're not Muslim. Hey, don't insult them, but make them pay extra tax and live under submission to Muslims.
This is a lie. Jizya is not an extra tax that they have to pay. It is the only tax that they have to pay. Also, here he is committing the cherry-picking fallacy. He is only highlighting the tax of the non-Muslim and ignoring the tax Muslims have to pay, which is jizya. In many cases, zakat is a lot higher than jizya. For example, Muslims have to pay nearly 2.5% of their yearly savings, where non-Muslims have to pay only 48 dinars annually. So Muslims actually have to pay more in most cases. Also, jizya only applies to able-bodied men. It doesn't apply to women, old people, poor people, and even priests. None of them have to pay the jizya. You can read about this in Ibn al-Qayyum's book, Ahkam al-Dhimma. The page number is 122. Not just that, there is a hadith which says, Abu Ja'far reported, the commander of the faithful, Umar ibn al-Khattab, may Allah be pleased with him, passed by an old man among the non-Muslim citizens who was going from house to house begging for charity. Umar radiallahu anhu said, we have not been fair to you, that we take tribute from you in your youth, and now that you're helpless in your old age, then Umar radiallahu anhu ordered for him to be given money from the public treasury to meet his need. You can read about this in Al-Amwal li Qasim ibn Salam, 190, page number 190. Now, Ibn al-Qayyim said that it is not lawful to hold non-Muslim citizens responsible for what they're incapable of doing. They may not be tortured, to pay tribute, imprisoned, or flogged. You can read about this in Ahkam al-Dhimma, volume number 1, page number 137, I think. So we can see that there is no punishment for not being able to pay jizya. Only those who can pay have to pay. Also, in return, non-Muslims are exempt from military service, but Muslims are not. So in reality, dhimmis are actually treated far better than Muslims in these cases, at least when it comes to taxation. According to Milka Levy-Rubin, who is a non-Muslim historian, agreement contracted by early Muslim rulers with minorities under the jurisdiction were far more progressive than those set by their neighbors, like the Christians and the Romans. You can read about this in non-Muslim in the early Islamic empire, from surrender to coexistence, by Milka Levy-Rubin. So we can see that jizya is not a tax that Muslims have to pay extra. Sorry, non-Muslims have to pay extra. Only able-bodied men who are exempt from military service have to pay it. Even then, if they participate in battle, they don't even have to pay that. So regardless, let's continue.
Better be at least Ahlul Kitab, or if you're not Ahlul Kitab, then by a literal reading of Islamic scripture, you don't even have you can't even get that status. You either have to convert to Islam or die.
This is another lie. Why are you lying, Armin? I mean, no, it's not just Ahlul Kitab to whom jizya applies. To other religions like the Hindus, the jizya also applies. It applies to many foreign religions. For example, Imam Abu Hanifa went as far as extending the community of Dhimma to include foreign pagans, allowing far more than simply Christians and Jews to be included among those who are to be protected by the Muslim state. You can read about this in Ahkam al-Dhimma, page number 87. As a matter of fact, Aurangzeb, the last Mughal emperor, charged Hindus with jizya the same way he charged Christians and Zoroastrians and Jews. You can read about this in Al-Fatwa Alamgiriya, Al-Fatwa Al-Hindiya, Fi Madhab Al-Imam Al-Azam Abi Hanifa, Al-Numan, volume number 2, page number 244 to 245, I think. Also, he only took jizya from able-bodied men. Even unemployed people were exempt from this in some cases, or at least they only had to pay as much as they could. And if they couldn't, then they didn't have to pay anything. So no, Armin, you don't have to be Ahlul Kitab to be under the protection of the Islamic State. You can be a Hindu or Zoroastrian or Majan or whatever, and you can still be in the protected group, or it can still be a dhimmi. Regardless, let's continue. Premise 1: Islam does not allow blasphemy. Premise 2:
Islam blasphemes against other religions all the fucking time. What the hell are you talking about?
Blasphemy allows hurting the feelings of religious people.
Okay.
Premise 3. We know religious people are human beings. Conclusion.
Okay.
Therefore, Islam does not allow hurting the feelings of human beings.
What do you Islam therefore doesn't allow the hurting feelings of human beings? What the fuck are you talking about? Islam condemns us to eternal torture. Islam condemns us to being executed because we changed our mind. Islam allows slavery. Islam allows raping women who are being captured in war as sex slaves. Does not allow the hurting of the people feeling of other human beings. Islam, the way it talks about Christians and Jews. I mean, has this motherfucker read the Hadith? I mean, do Jews and Christians not get hurt feelings when they've been compared to pigs and rats in the Hadith and the Quran? What the hell are you talking about, man? This guy's living in La La Land.
Okay, none of the things he said is true. At least most of them are not. However, I would like to see references of these claims so I can destroy him properly. Regardless, here he is strawmanning my argument. In the video, I was talking about people mocking each other. Slavery law or apostasy law has nothing to do with this. So this is a massive strawman. Or at least it's a red herring. Islam does protect religious people from being insulted, since it's haram for Muslims to insult dhimmis. Same way, it's not allowed for dhimmis to insult Islam, at least in an ideal Islamic state anyway. However, in a secular state and in free speech, it is allowed for people, for everyone, to insult each other and their religion. There is no religious freedom, or at least not like in an Islamic state, or protection in a secular state or in free speech. That's what I was talking about. This doesn't mean that there is nothing in Islam that other people cannot find offensive. I mean, I was simply talking about people mocking each other. He completely misrepresented my argument. It also becomes obvious if you look at the argument. I said in premise 1 that Islam does not allow blasphemy. Obviously, I'm talking about people mocking each other, religion, and not that there is nothing in Islam that people won't find offensive. However, when it comes to general behavior, Islam does not allow Muslims to mock others unprovoked. This way, it is better than free speech, which does not have anything like that.
So this argument shows why Islam is better than atheism or secular humanism for that matter. Islam protects people from being hurt, insulted, or being
hurt? Dude, based on Islamic law, I can't have my heads on my shoulder. I'm supposed to be beheaded because I don't agree with you motherfuckers. Islam doesn't allow protect people from being hurt? Are you insane? Maybe you should go talk to Daniel Hagaju a little bit so he can teach you a little bit more about Islam. Wait, what the fuck is this guy talking about?
Here he's committing the red herring fallacy. The apostasy law has nothing to do with people mocking each other's religion, which was the topic of my video. Also, he's strawman me again. I never said that there is nothing in Islam that you won't find offensive. I simply said that Islam does not allow Muslims to insult each other, where free speech does. As a matter of fact, Islam also doesn't allow Muslims to insult non-Muslims. That was my point. I mean, on this particular case, Islam is better than secular humanism. It is better than free speech. And that was my point. And he completely strawman me. With that, I'm done with this clown. Sorry for the long video, but I needed to educate him. Inshallah, I'll also respond to his so-called response to my second video. Oh, by the way, Armin, if you're watching, I invite you back to Islam. I know that you are a Shiite, so I invite you to look into Sunni Islam. You have a lot of hatred in your heart, and I can tell. However, if you want to find true peace and want to be in a state of calm, I invite you to come back to Islam. And I say this sincerely because I do think that I think you have the right intention, but you're going about it the wrong way. Burning people's holy books and doing things like mocking their gods, it's not the way to do things. It's not the way you do activism, man. This is not right. And deep down, you know that. Okay, how much trouble have you gotten for this? First of all, it's not worth it. Second of all, this is childish. Third of all, it's not even effective. And deep down, I think you know that these things are wrong. And the thing is that, again, I invite you back to Islam before it's too late. And you will not find peace this way. I mean, if you really want to find tranquility and peace in our heart, only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can give that to you. Only Islam can give that to you. True peace and happiness. So I hope you accept my invitation and come back to Islam, brother. I don't want you to go to the hellfire or anything bad happening to you. And this is a sincere invitation. With that, I'm going to end the video. Jazakallahu khairan. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.